Amidst the sparkling stars and the inky void of space, the planet Earth floated serenely, its blues and greens a stark contrast to the blackness surrounding it. This tranquil scene, however, was about to get a shake-up in a most unexpected way. Zara and Lyra, two explorers from the planet Thalos, had traveled across galaxies on a mission of curiosity and knowledge. Thalosians were known throughout the cosmos for their advanced technology and their insatiable thirst for understanding other cultures. Their sleek, iridescent ship, barely visible against the vastness of space, approached Earth silently. The two Thalosians were unlike any beings on Earth. Their skin shimmered with a metallic glow, hues of purple and silver dancing across their bodies as they moved. Their eyes, large and luminous, reflected a world not seen by human eyes, full of colors and spectrums unknown to Earth's inhabitants. As they entered Earth's atmosphere, the ship's advanced cloaking mechanisms activated, rendering it invisible to the naked eye. They had studied Earth from afar, learning languages and customs through intercepted transmissions, and they had chosen their first point of contact based on an intriguing earthly concept, the human shower. "What do you think it will be like?" Lyra asked, her voice a musical chime that filled the ship's control room. Zara, ever the more adventurous one, grinned. "I've heard it's one of their most enjoyed daily rituals. I can't wait to experience it firsthand." Their chosen landing spot was a secluded area on the outskirts of a small, sleepy town. The lush greenery of Earth was a stark contrast to the crystalline structures of the Thalos. They were fascinated by the vibrant life forms, so different from their own flora and fauna. After securing their ship, they cloaked themselves in a holographic human guise and ventured into town. Their destination was a local gym, which their research indicated had public showers. They wanted their first experience to be as authentic as possible. Inside the gym, they navigated through the maze of exercise equipment and locker rooms, guided by the sounds of running water and human voices. The steamy air of the shower room hit them as they entered, a cloud of warmth and moisture that was entirely new to their senses. "Amazing," Zara whispered, watching as humans stood under cascades of water, seemingly in bliss. "They actually bathe in water, just like in the simulations." Lyra nodded, equally entranced. They chose an empty shower and stepped in, activating the water. The sensation was nothing like they had imagined. The water was at once enveloping and invigorating, a liquid embrace that tickled their senses. The experience was heightened by their Thalosian senses, which allowed them to feel and analyze every water molecule that touched their skin. As they adapted to the sensations, they began to understand why showers were so valued by humans. It wasn't just about cleanliness. It was a ritual of renewal and relaxation. Suddenly, the door opened, and a human entered. Zara and Lyra froze, realizing they had not locked the door in their excitement. "Hey, are these showers open to everyone?" the human asked, pausing as he noticed them. He was a young man, fit and tall, with curious eyes. Zara, quick on her feet, responded with a smile. "Yes, absolutely. We were just trying it out for the first time." The human nodded, seemingly satisfied with the answer, and chose a shower a few spaces down. Once the human was under his own water stream, Lyra leaned closer to Zara, whispering, "That was close." Zara chuckled, the sound mingling with the patter of water. Part of the adventure, right? As they finished their shower, stepping out into the cooler air of the locker room, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. This first foray into human culture had been exhilarating, and they were eager to explore more. But first, they needed to report back to their ship and prepare for their next steps on T. Zara and Lyra's next exploration led them to a place where water wasn't just for cleansing but for recreation. The local swimming pool was bustling with activity, a stark contrast to the calm and controlled environment of the gym showers. They observed families and individuals engaging in playful splashes and disciplined laps, their laughter and shouts echoing off the water's surface. The two Thalosians, still disguised in their human forms, decided to join in. They mimicked the others, slipping into the water with an elegance that drew a few admiring glances. They were quick learners, adapting to the human style of swimming with a few quick flaps of their limbs. The water felt different here, charged with energy and movement, a communal experience rather than a solitary one. As they enjoyed the playful atmosphere, Zara noticed a child struggling in the deeper end of the pool. Without a second thought, she dove across the distance, her Thelosian muscles propelling her through the water with incredible speed. She reached the child just as a lifeguard jumped in, and together they brought him to safety. The child's mother rushed over, her face a mix of relief and gratitude. "Thank you. Thank you so much," she exclaimed, embracing her son tightly. "It was nothing," Zara replied, her voice calm despite the adrenaline rush. "I'm glad he's safe." Their heroic act did not go unnoticed. A crowd had gathered, and whispers of their swift response filled the air. Zara and Lyra exchanged a look, realizing they had perhaps drawn too much attention. They needed to be cautious. Blending in was crucial to their mission of observation and learning. Deciding it was best to leave the pool, they made their way to the locker rooms. As they changed back into their street clothes, Lyra's communicator buzzed discreetly. It was a message from their ship, reminding them of their primary objective: to gather as much information about human habits and social interactions as possible without altering them. "Let's head somewhere quieter," Lyra suggested. "Perhaps a park or a natural reserve. We need to reflect on what happened today." Agreeing, Zara followed her out, their minds buzzing not just with the day's events, but with the myriad of sensations they had experienced in the water. The feeling of being part of a group, the shared joy and fear, had been enlightening. They found a secluded spot in a nearby nature reserve, settling on a bench overlooking a serene lake. Ducks glided across the surface, and the wind whispered through the trees, a natural symphony that was surprisingly comforting. "This planet is full of surprises," Lyra mused, watching a squirrel dart up a tree. "The water connects them, not just physically but emotionally." Zara nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. Water is life here, more than just a resource. It's a source of joy, danger, and salvation. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the water, they talked about their findings, each observation adding to their growing understanding of Earth and its inhabitants. The incident at the pool, while unexpected, had offered a deeper insight into human emotions and reactions, valuable data for their reports back to the Los. But as the stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, both knew that their exploration was far from over. Earth had more to teach them, and they were eager to learn. The day's events had only deepened their resolve to delve further into this complex, vibrant world. As evening deepened into night, Zara and Lyra decided to explore one of Earth's simple pleasures that had intrigued them since their studies aboard their ship: stargazing. Humans often engaged in this activity for relaxation and connection, something both familiar yet profoundly different from Thelosian nightly rituals. They found a group gathering on a hilltop, telescopes pointing toward the heavens, a shared anticipation in the air. The two aliens, still under their human guises, were lent a telescope by a friendly enthusiast eager to share his knowledge about constellations. "The sky is a map," he explained, pointing to various clusters and patterns. "Each star tells a story." Zara peered through the telescope, marveling at the celestial bodies. She compared them to the star maps of their galaxy, finding both similarities and vast differences. Earth's sky was a tapestry of history and myth, woven together by human imagination and scientific discovery. Meanwhile, Lyra engaged with a small group of amateur astronomers who were discussing the possibilities of life beyond Earth. She listened intently, careful not to reveal their true origins, yet fascinated by the humans' theories and the intensity of their curiosity. "Imagine if we're not alone," one of the stargazers mused, unaware of how accurate his statement was. "What would they look like? How would they communicate?" Lyra smiled, her mind racing with diplomatic responses. "Maybe they're wondering the same about us." Their evening under the stars provided a wealth of information on human hopes and dreams, their desire to connect with something larger than themselves. It was a profound reflection of their own mission, one that resonated deeply with Zara and Lyra. As the group dispersed, the two made their way back to their hidden spacecraft, their thoughts heavy with the new insights they had gained. Humans looked to the stars and saw stories. Thelosians saw a roadmap of the universe. The intersection of these perspectives was both challenging and exhilarating. Back aboard their ship, They reported their findings, sending detailed accounts of human interactions, their communal experiences with water, and their boundless fascination with the cosmos. Each report was a puzzle piece, helping to build a comprehensive understanding of Earth. Resting in the quiet hum of their ship, they reviewed the night's observations, the constellations, the hopeful conversations about alien life, and the shared joy of discovering the universe. It all painted a picture of a species rich with complexity and bound by a profound connection to the universe. As they prepared for their next day on Earth, they contemplated the many ways in which water and the stars were woven into human life, each element a crucial part of the fabric that made up human culture. Tomorrow, they would dive deeper into these cultural artifacts, ready to uncover more about this blue planet and its curious inhabitants. Their mission was far from over, and each new discovery only fueled their desire to learn more. After their nocturnal adventures, Zara and Lyra chose to delve into the bustling heart of the city, aiming to observe the human interaction in a denser, more complex environment. The city was a stark contrast to the tranquil settings they had previously explored. It was a vibrant tapestry of noise, movement, and the myriad scents of human life intermingling. The skyscrapers stretched towards the sky, glass and steel reflecting the morning sun. People hurried along the sidewalks, a river of humanity flowing around the obstacles of street vendors and static tourists. Zara and Lyra walked among them, their senses attuned to the cacophony of urban life. They paused at a street corner, watching a group of performers attracting a small crowd. A musician strummed on a guitar, his fingers creating a melody that somehow rose above the urban noise. Nearby, a painter displayed canvases splashed with the colors of the cityscape, each piece a moment of captured chaos. Art seems to be a crucial expression here, Lyra noted, observing the interactions between the spectators and the artists. It's another form of communication, isn't it? Zara nodded, her eyes tracking the exchange of currency for a small painting. It's transactional, but also deeply personal. See how they discuss the pieces. Each conversation is not just about the art, but about shared experiences and emotions. Deciding to engage more directly, they approached a food vendor, intrigued by the array of smells wafting from the cart. The vendor, a jovial man with a broad smile, offered them each a hot dog, a staple of quick urban cuisine. As they took their first bites, experiencing the strange and novel flavors, Zara struck up a conversation with the vendor about his day-to-day experiences in the city. "You meet so many people," she remarked. "Oh, yeah," the vendor chuckled, wiping his hands on his apron. "Every day, people from all walks of life. You see the best and the worst, but it's all part of the city's charm." Their discussion was suddenly interrupted by the sound of sirens wailing nearby. Emergency vehicles streaked past, their urgent noises slicing through the normal hum of city life. The crowd's reaction was immediate. Heads turned, some followed, but most just paused momentarily before returning to their routines. "It's a resilient environment," Lyra observed, watching the ebb and flow of human activity normalize swiftly. Adaptation seems key here. They spent the rest of the day wandering through various districts, each with its own unique character. From the financial district, with its air of serious hustle and crisp suits, to a historic area where the buildings spoke of the city's past and were revered almost like relics, admired and preserved. In the late afternoon, they found themselves in a park, a green oasis amidst the concrete. Here, families relaxed and friends gathered, the pace slower and more reflective than the surrounding city. This space offers them a pause, a break from the high energy of urban life. Zara mused, watching a group of children playing near a fountain. Lyra agreed, her thoughts already cataloging the contrasts and similarities of their day's observations. Water, art, food, green spaces, they're all integral to balancing the sensory overload of the city. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the park, they decided it was time to return to their ship. The city had offered them a deeper understanding of human dynamics, the push and pull of daily life, and the essential human need for connection, whether through commerce, art, or leisure. They walked back through the city streets, now illuminated by the neon glow of signs and streetlights, the city's nightlife beginning to stir. The day's experiences had given them much to consider and report, each observation a thread in the ever-expanding fabric of their understanding of human life. As twilight descended over the city, the soft glow of street lamps casting gentle shadows on the sidewalks, Zara and Lyra retreated to a quiet cafe to gather their thoughts and observations from the day. The cafe, with its subdued lighting and the murmur of hushed conversations, provided a perfect backdrop for reflection. Sitting by a window overlooking the bustling street, they sipped on coffee, a popular human beverage they had found to be both stimulating and a significant part of social rituals. Around them, individuals and small groups were engrossed in their laptops or engaged in intimate conversations, embodying the diverse ways humans connected with one another and with technology. This city, Lyra began thoughtfully, her gaze drifting to the people walking by outside. It's like a living organism, constantly moving, evolving, and adapting. Each part, from the street performers to the high-rise offices, functions as an organ does in a body, vital and interconnected. Zara nodded, her mind tracing the parallels between their own society and what they had witnessed here. And yet, there's a harmony in the chaos. They find balance through their routines, their relationships, and their leisure activities. It's remarkably similar to Thelosian society, just expressed differently. Their conversation turned to the emotional spectrum they had observed. Human emotions seemed more volatile, more openly expressed than on the Los. It was both fascinating and enlightening to see such unguarded human interaction. As we prepare our final report, Zara said, tapping a few notes into her device, we should emphasize the complexity of their emotional expressions. It's integral to how they experience and interact with their world. Lyra agreed, adding, and we should note their resilience. Despite the individual struggles we've seen, there's a collective strength that pulls them through adversity. As they continued to discuss, they realized how much they had underestimated the depth of human culture. Each encounter had deepened their appreciation and understanding, pushing the boundaries of what they thought they knew about this species. They also pondered the future interactions between the Los and Earth. With such rich cultural insights, both planets could benefit greatly from a formal exchange. The potential for mutual growth was vast, and they were eager to relay this to their superiors. Finishing their coffees, they prepared to leave the cafe. Their ship awaited, hidden from human eyes, ready to take them home. As they walked back through the quieting streets, they felt a mix of satisfaction and nostalgia. Earth had offered them a glimpse into its soul, and they were leaving changed, carrying with them not just data and observations, but experiences that would linger in their memories, shaping their perceptions of what it meant to be part of the cosmos. Reaching their ship, they looked back at the city one last time. Its lights a testament to human ingenuity and spirit. With a final nod to each other, they boarded, the doors closing silently behind them. The engines hummed to life, and soon, they were ascending into the night sky, leaving behind the blue planet that had offered them so much. Back aboard, as Earth receded into the distance, becoming one with the stars, Zara and Lyra began compiling their comprehensive report. It was filled with details of human culture, technology, and spirit, an invaluable resource that promised to usher in a new era of understanding and cooperation between their worlds.